Today in the crypto space, we see the market getting a pullback, Bitcoin down below the $85,000 mark, down approximately 2%, and Ethereum below the $2,000 level once again, down approximately 3.5%. And the altcoins are also pulling back, some more than others, AVAX and Polkadot to just name a couple. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about ETH. What's going on with ETH? Is ETH done? Are we getting a bounce? What's happening with the relief? Are we in an altcoin season? When are we getting it? Are we ever going to get it? Of course, lots of questions. Guys, so you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it. Guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here, because I ultimately do see a bit of FOMO out there in the market. However, it's very volatile. So the issue is that we see emotional volatility as well as, price volatility across the market. And then obviously we see the increase in volatility in the altcoins, and then we look for Ethereum for some answers. And Ethereum at the current moment is not even holding up on its own for its own regard, right? This is the biggest issue here, is that who's the leader of the altcoin market usually, and it's Ethereum. And in this case, is it looking like a leader at the current moment? Not so much, to be honest. Okay, so we'll take a look at ETH. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, of course, as a leading indicator. But before we do that, let's just scrape through the top 100, get an idea of what's happening today. Total market cap currently is at $2.9 trillion, taking a bit of a dip, down 2.3%. Guys, the FOMC meeting, obviously the interest rates, all of that. Today we got Trump making a bit of a statement, nothing so spectacular, but ultimately we're getting volatility. And, the market in general is not really, in tune with what's really happening. They want to see macro conditions, show a bit of relief, show some strength. And we're not getting too much of it. Not enough, let's put it that way. Not enough to consider that maybe the markets, maybe the traditional markets are going to get a reversal, right? So market cap is falling, traditional markets are falling, everything's kind of falling in tandem. It's not unique or exclusive to crypto. We got to be clear about that, because if you look at your bags right now and think, okay, they're down, but all bags are down in all asset classes. And this is something to understand. Obviously, some more than others, depending on the risk curve that you're on. We know that crypto is very risky, so risk on assets get hurt more, and this is why we're considered a degen space here. But ultimately, guys, just be prepared that when we come down hard, we also bounce or reverse hard and go up hard. So we're waiting for that. When are we going to get the bullish response? Guys, I feel like we're very soon. But I think that we're soon, but we're not getting much evidence of that yet. And usually once we come to that halt of a downtrend, that transitionary period going from bearish to bullish is usually the hardest moments of trading. And those are usually accumulation phases that cause tons of emotion and tons of wick action, whipsaw price action, and so on. So we got to be very patient for that reversal structure to play out. And I feel like it's going to happen soon. So hang in there, guys. But until then, be patient, slow and steady. We see the market cap doing okay, rising a little bit, still under $3 trillion, unfortunately. And as we keep on scrolling through down here, you can see that today is a bit of a red day. We see that we're down approximately, I would say on average, about 4%, give or take, depending on the project you're looking at. It's not a big dip, right? But it's still there, almost wiping up all the gains from yesterday. This is the problem. A lot of us start celebrating really early, which is great. I like to celebrate all pumps. All pumps get celebrated here on this channel, of course, but we have to understand that with a pump, we need to also celebrate by taking profit. Because if not, you're asking for trouble, especially until we do get confirmations. We need confirmations of a reversal here. AVAX coming down more than expected. I think AVAX is a great project to DC in, given the fact that it's a large cap. We have SUI in a bit of an uptrend, still up down 2.8% today. I feel all this slow price action to the upside could get wiped out real quick, guys. You know, the stairs up, elevator down. Be careful out there. We haven't gotten a proper bullish response with an expansion yet. We've got many bearish responses with expansions already, impulsive moves down already, but not even one in a good while from the bulls. So it's about to happen. Just when, we don't know. Let's get some evidence of that. And as of now, we see that the bears are in full control at the current moment for a response to the downside. I believe that the 4 hour is going to show us a bit of red in the next little bit. Guys, we'll talk about charts in a second. We see that polka dot, you know, rolling over, a little bit of a rollover here across the market, just a little bit. It's just the beginning of a further dip possible. We're still in an uptrend on a lot of these charts, which is great. Guys, I'm hoping that we get a nice pump. We continue to the upside. Guys, my portfolio is ready for it. I'm sure yours is as well. However, guys, let's be real here that on the big picture, on the 4 hour, on the daily, this is just considered relief. You know, a bit of a grind to the upside. Some of them look very structurally like a three-wave structure, which is a retracement structure. And as we keep on going down, we can see that a lot of these altcoins currently, you know, down approximately 4%. If you look at Ondo, triple top, reversal, right now falling, you know, on the lower time frames, getting that structural change right into here. You know, considering coming down to the bottom of the range is very possible here for Ondo, and at worst case scenario, making a lower low. This is a very unfortunate because we're not getting much evidence that we're ready to really run to the upside with these bearish responses here that are equally or even stronger than the bullish responses. Very weak bullish responses, unfortunately. So this is the case. We have a few others here, guys. I don't know what this is. This showed up all of a sudden. Entangle looking pretty good. 9% to the downside. If you're looking for an entry, maybe that's the case. And as we keep on scrolling down, guys, you can see 4 or 5% more or less, depending on what you're looking at. We have Bonk up 5%. That's a random anomaly, but generally speaking, guys, the market is currently in a dip, and obviously we're in a retracement to the upside. And the question is, do the bulls have enough strength to push down for another impulsive move? Guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's begin our analysis talking about Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? Bitcoin on the daily, nothing much. Still in a downtrend. As you can see, that downward sloping channel is still in full effect. Nothing has changed. No break of trend, no break of structure. Just a bit of a retracement right now, as it has done in the past, which is great. Guys, we celebrate all pumps. Little pumps from here to here are amazing. But the real question is, are we coming down to lower levels? Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to be bearish here, guys. Ultimately, I'm a bull through and through. However, we got to be taking full advantage of any opportunity, especially the bearish opportunities. Why? Because when there's bearishness out there, the bulls have to come out to play. Eventually, they need to, you know, buy all the red. And the reality is that as soon as I get any signals of a reversal here, that we're ready to start pivoting upwards, guys, whatever it is, I don't care. I'm not here to time the bottom. I'm here to get in on any movement to the upside that shows me that we're ready to rock it. Guys, I'll jump on that train so quick that we'll start flying to the upside, and I'm going to be ready for it. However, guys, at this current moment, lower lows and lower highs here on the daily, undisputed. Okay, let's be real about it. Now, all of a sudden, we start looking at momentum. We did bottom out very, very nicely. We do see a bit of divergence that was happening here. We are seeing a bit of follow through. No real follow through just yet. As long as we stay below the 50 mark here on the chop zone, we didn't get much follow through yet. And what I don't like is that the volatility is already overbought. So it's likely that we come down and then attempt another opportunity for follow through on the impulsive move to the upside. So I'm really concerned about what the daily does not right now. If the daily comes down for another bearish response with this orange line coming down to get oversold, again, do we make a lower low? That's the concern right now on the daily. If we make a lower low, guys, the trend is your friend. We're still coming down, and I'm going to still be in a bearish stance until the bearish response becomes weaker than the previous, and we do not make a lower low. Bingo. That's our opportunity to start looking for change of character. That's the daily time frame. That's the biggest pivot. That's the biggest opportunity. That's where we get in with bigger bags and understand that maybe we might have a moment of a bit of patience until we get that full reversal. But a full reversal right here on the daily will be massive, because ultimately that's going to give us an opportunity to reclaim previous highs and all-time highs and price discovery. That's what we really want to do. And that the only real time frame here is the daily that could offer us that. Now, of course, I don't want to speak in absolutes, because we can see some good pivots on the 4 hour that can initiate a daily response and a daily pivot. But at the current moment, the daily is not really giving me much, okay, other than this bullish divergence. And we know for a fact we can get triple drives of bullish divergence. And again, back to the thesis that what about if we come down to a lower low and still hit the 72K right here at this liquidity zone? It's very possible that we still maintain an uptrend in the momentum and get a class A bullish divergence, but then with 3 drives of it. This happens all the time, guys. Right? So let's just be patient. Let's be patient on the daily. Now on the 4 hour, what about the 4 hour? The 4 hour is playing games. Playing games, definitely, you know, all kinds of whipsaw price action, all craziness happening right here. We get news events, we get FOMCs, we got, you know, Donald Trump, we got so much happening, guys, and we broke below the previous resistance, or that's supposed to act as support. Right now we're below 84,000. Where are we? Below 84,500 more or less, where that thick white line is, guys. I wanted a bounce there and we didn't get one. So now what? Do we use that now as resistance? Bearish. If that happens, guys, very bearish. Closing the daily candle below that, bearish. Guys, we have a few hours. I'm going to be live tonight at 8 p.m., of course. We'll take a look at what's going on there. But as of now, it's bearish. What can I say? That's a bearish look. Now, we're still in the uptrend, but I hope you guys realize that this is a retracement. Right? This is, you know, not an impulsive move. This is not a move where we get a quick action, a quick move down. We're not getting a quick move down. Right now, what we're really getting is just a retracement, you know, a couple of waves to the upside. Usually, it's nice to see a 3-wave structure. I'm not an Elliott wave type of trader, but you can see that, you know, maybe it's a 3-wave A, B, C, something, not really. You get what I mean? Ultimately, it's a retracement. So what I would like to see is a bearish response. And again, we're getting it on the daily. It looks like we're already over bottom volatility. Maybe we get that bearish response. We're already getting it on the 4 hour. We're halfway done. I'm just going to let you know that the majority of the impulse comes after the chop zone. So again, if we break below this level and we get oversold, guys, expect a bigger move. And I'm more concerned about what happens with price, because if the bigger move brings us down here, guys, do we make that lower low? Once again, I'm concerned. I want to see the bearish response finished. And then once we see a sign that the bears do not have the strength to make a lower low and make an impulsive move that makes that lower low, guys, I'm going all in. I'm ready to go here to get that pivot and change the character, because that's the beginning. A higher low right here, higher high, higher low, and then we start moving. This right now is playing games. This is playing games because we're looking for a trend break. We're looking for a trend, a change of trend here, but it's not going to happen unless we get volume, and we're not getting volume. Look at the previous levels of that we tried or moved. Okay, more volume than now, more volume than now, more volume than now, and look at now. We don't have no volume. So what's going on? Are we actually going to break out on a downtrend? We're moving down, guys, right now. So this is what I'm going at. What I'm going with this is we got to be patient. The daily and the 4 hours not really giving you major signals. If you're trading lower time frames, yeah, you could be trading this all day long on the 5 minute, on the 1 minute. That's great. But really, for bigger positions, for life-changing opportunity positions, for a potential, you know, continuation of the bull run and altcoin season and all of that, you got to be patient and look for that change of direction right here and deploy. DCA. So I guess the majority of the questions are pivoted around altcoins, because Bitcoin was very clear for us in the last little while. Bitcoin did very well, obviously, and even though it's in a retracement, it's still at 80,000. We're still doing okay, but it's the altcoins and Ethereum as the leading indicator, as the, you know, head of all the altcoins up until today, you know, hasn't been doing much and being a poor leader. And at the end of the day, maybe a good leading indicator, because the reality is Ethereum, you know, getting a dip right here and getting rejected right here wasn't a good look, given that Bitcoin already flew and did so well, even, you know, topping out at over $100,000. Ethereum didn't even do much. And then you start looking at the altcoins, they didn't do anything either. So maybe it didn't do its job. Maybe Ethereum is the indicator that we need, because ultimately it did nothing, and so did the altcoins and the rest of the space. Okay, so this is a concern. Now, I believe that Ethereum needs to wake up. Okay, it needs to wake up. And if you are bullish, you have to be bullish on Ethereum. And it doesn't mean that you have to hold any bags. It doesn't mean that. Like, I don't hold much Ethereum myself. To be honest, I sold a lot of my Ethereum. The difference is that I understand that Ethereum needs to be a leading indicator. It needs to wake up, because it's the only asset out there in the altcoin market at the current moment that could bring down that Bitcoin dominance, or at least be the instrumental force of the Bitcoin dominance falling. Without it, I don't know of any other altcoin that could do that job easily. It's the path of least resistance for an altcoin season, is to see Ethereum succeed, right? So Ethereum at the current moment, whether you support it or not, Guys, at the end of the day, if you support altcoins, you need to support the heavyweight, which is Ethereum. And ultimately, Ethereum, obviously, the tech has been frowned upon, all of this, but it's still standing and it's still doing well. And ultimately, it's still a bit of an uptrend here, at least. We're not making lower lows, big picture. So what I want to say this is that we are in a lower low here in comparison to this low. Obviously, not a good look. But in comparison to the absolute bear market bottom, which is right around this level, again, about $1,000, a little bit lower, $900, we're still above it. We're still okay. We could still come down to this zone, you know, maybe get some support on any of these little nodes of volume. It could even come down as low as $1,000, get a nice, you know, double bottom and start moving back to the upside. So this is the thing here, guys. We have to be bullish on the altcoins in general, because in general, the total market cap right now is not looking the strongest. This is the whole concept, is that if Bitcoin is coming down, and we see it in a bit of a downtrend right now, just a bit of one, and the altcoins are doing poorly, led by Ethereum, we're seeing the total market cap falling and hopefully looking for support at the current moment. Guys, what else what's the issue here? The issue is that crypto in general is fizzling away without market participation, lack of volume. So is this the calm before the storm, before we actually get some major moves here? Guys, this is the moment to pay attention when nobody else is looking. Okay, so this is why I'm focusing on Ethereum today, is because I think nobody's looking. Nobody cares right now. The action is not there, and that's the best time to accumulate. But don't go in blindly, guys. What we will have to focus is on the total market cap, and that's going to conclude my overall thesis here on Ethereum. It's not Ethereum based. My thesis is not Bitcoin based. My thesis is crypto based. It's based on the total market cap. We need support on the total market cap, guys. Tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where I go live, we'll be talking about the total market cap. We'll be looking at the potential reversal on the total market cap, because we need capital. We need money flowing back into this space, or else it's not looking good, not only for altcoins, but even for Bitcoin. Okay, so this is what we need. Now, what I would like to see some support here, we could get back above the 2,000. We have already did it once. We're still in a downtrend here. We broke below this low, that's fine. Now we're still in a downtrend, clear. It's undisputable. Very similar to Bitcoin. We're still in a downtrend no matter what somebody tells you. It's clearly making lower lows and lower highs on the daily. Very clear. Now, what do we need here? We need to start changing this. We need to start changing the direction. And a proof of that is the change of character, right? And we start getting the change of character where we start making higher highs and higher lows. Guys, that will change the overall scenario. But at this current moment, I worry about a continuing downtrend, or at least I worry that maybe we go sideways for a little bit. And that's not so bad of a worry, because it gives us time to build our thesis, build our bags, accumulate, DCA, do our research, invest in ourselves, and so on and so forth. Because ultimately, giving us a sideways price action on the altcoin market will ultimately give us an opportunity to deploy in assets and within the subclass of crypto that could definitely change your life. Altcoins could change your life. They have done so in the past for many individuals. And because of the capability, I think it's worthy of our patience and our time and our effort to watch and see if Ethereum could finally get its reversal and finally lead the rest of the altcoins to much higher levels. And this is what I'm really focusing on here. Okay, we need capital back in. We need people to start pouring some capital into the altcoin market led by Ethereum. And Ethereum needs to start showing us some strength here, or else we're in trouble. We see previous tops that need to be respected, clearly respected, right? We have all of this. Breaking below this horizontal is not a good look. We got to be clear about that, particularly with this volume node right here. Okay, so we got a bit of a bounce. I would love to see it get back above and start back testing and springing. Let's get back above, back test and spring. Let's start making higher highs and higher lows. Let's start changing the direction here. Let's start doing some of that, and then we'll get excited. At this current moment, volatility is on the daily is overbought, similar to what Bitcoin is at, and we could get that bearish response. If the bearish response does not make a lower low, which, guys, it doesn't look good at the current moment, guys, at least we're, you know, if it doesn't make a lower low, great, that's fine, maybe double bottom or something like that. But ultimately, we want to see where this takes us. We see that the momentum was overbought here, and it slowly grinded to oversold conditions. Overbought to oversold means that it's fully reset at the current moment. But during that transitionary phase from bearish to bullish, it takes a bit of a moment, and this little bit of a moment is an accumulation phase, and this accumulation phase usually causes a lot of pain. whipsaw price action, wicks that get people liquidated, wicks that get people stopped out, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Emotion, emotion, emotion. Let's start getting some evidence, and then we start piling in, and DCA nice and slowly is the of the agenda in the next little while for myself. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. Again, I'm going to be live tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.